Rashee Rice just left a Dallas jail and he was already running routes today. Now look, I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean the man literally hit the door, read the Fox 4 camera crew like a coverage shell, made one of the sharpest cuts you've ever seen around the doorway, and dove headfirst into a waiting black SUV. He was making people miss in a phone booth, that's 100% for sure. And if that's not the most Rashee Rice thing that has ever happened, I don't know what is. The man avoided contact. He showed a lead elusiveness in a confined space and accelerated to full speed in about 4 steps on a Dallas sidewalk. Scouts, are you guys watching? The lateral quickness is clearly still there. The burst is back, baby. He even navigated around a trash can with the kind of body control that makes defensive backs' knees buckle. Chiefs Kingdom, Rashee Rice has reported to the field. It just happened to be outside the Dallas County Jail. But in all seriousness, today is genuinely a good day for this Chiefs football team. Rashee Rice has served his 30 days. It's over. It's done. It is behind him. And barring any return trips to jail, which we're absolutely not entertaining, what we are looking at is a top 10 wide receiver talent who is now on a clear runway to training camp in late July. And today, we're going to talk about what that actually means for this offense, because the national media has some big concerns. Bleacher Report just dropped their best and worst case scenarios for every single NFL offense in 2026. And the way they describe this Chiefs receiving core should have Chiefs Kingdom paying a lot of attention. But here's where this Rice story gets pretty interesting, and it connects directly to something you told me just a few days ago in our community poll. And when I show you that number later in this video, it's going to reframe this entire conversation. So stay with me, let's get right into it. So here's the full Rashee Rice situation, and I want to give you the real picture, not just the headlines. Rice walked out of that Dallas jail this morning. 30 days served, it's over. And the thing that makes today different from just a guy finishing a jail sentence is what he was doing the entire time he was in there. And yes, that was physical therapy on the knee. And he was doing it from a jail cell. That tells you something about where his head is at right now, hopefully. The Chiefs have been expecting him for training camp since this whole thing started. And as of today, nothing about that expectation has really changed. Now let's be real with each other for just a second here, because Chiefs Kingdom is too smart for me to just skip over this one. The track record with Rice has required a lot of patience. And for a guy with his talent, you had to earn your optimism about Rashee Rice. That's for sure. I get it. I respect that. But here's the thing. When Rashee Rice is healthy and on the football field, actually on the field, the production speaks for itself. Last season, even through all the disruption, he was practically the only dependable wide receiver on this roster in the second half of the year. And now we're adding him back into an offense with a healthy Patrick Mahomes, hopefully, a new offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy, and a wide receiver room that desperately needs every weapon it can possibly get. The question is never whether Rice could play at an elite level. We've seen that. We know who he is. We know it can happen. The only honest question is whether he shows up and is he ready to work. And my take, today is a data point. And he did the time. He rehabbed the knee from the jail cell. He's expected in St. Joe for training camp. Until something tells me otherwise, I got to take the positive and just move forward. That's the play I'm rolling with. But here's what I need you to stay tuned for, because this Rice situation doesn't exist in a vacuum. Bleacher Report just painted a pretty sobering picture of this Chiefs offense heading into 2026, and the one word they used for your receiver room is going to stick in your head. I'll get to that in a minute, but first I want to show you exactly why I think they may be selling this thing short, just a little. And real quick, please smash that like button and hit that hype button if you're enjoying the content today. It's free and it really helps me out. Okay, back to it. All right, Bleacher Report dropped their offensive best and worst case scenarios for every single team in the NFL. And the Chiefs write-up is worth talking about because it captures exactly what Chiefs Kingdom, me and you both, has been wrestling with this entire offseason. So here's the honest summary. The Chiefs had 2 big problems in 2025 before Mahomes even went down with the ACL injury. 1, no reliable pass catchers who could generate big plays consistently. 2, a ground game that was essentially non-functional. They're optimistic that Kenneth Walker will fix the run game. They're not so sure about that passing game, though. And the word they use for this receiving core? Questionable. That don't sound too harsh, but now I want to be fair here. That's not an unreasonable take either where they're sitting from. From the outside, you look at this group and you don't see the names that jump off the page. There's no massive free agent additions. There was no splashy trades. What you see is the Rice uncertainty, and that now comes attached to his name. Xavier Worthy coming off of shoulder surgery and currently in a non-contact jersey. A bunch of young guys who have flashed but haven't proven it over an entire season. And here's the part that actually matters. The best case scenario they outline requires everything to go right at the exact same time. Mahomes must be healthy. Walker delivers as an elite back as promised, and the receivers stepping up in a collective way that this group hasn't ever seen before. That's a lot of dominoes to fall. But Bleacher Report is looking at this from the outside. They're working the roster on paper. They're not living inside Chiefs Kingdom the way me and you are. They don't have the data that we have. They don't have the insight into every little thing. And that's actually what I want to get to. Because a few days ago, we asked Chiefs Kingdom a direct question about this Chiefs offense in 2026. And you answered quite loudly. The poll results came in and one name stuck out. It wasn't even close. And when I tell you what Chiefs Kingdom said and then show you the football case that backs it up, I think you may feel a little better about what we got going in and that questionable label. Let's talk about Tyquan Thornton here. But hey, really quick before we get into this, last week we were giving away a free Nike Kansas City Chiefs t-shirt, and the winner is Roulette King 23. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Glad you won that. And if you want to win this week's giveaway, tune into the show tomorrow for info on that one. It's going to be a great prize, so make sure you're subscribed and watching out for that one. Now back to the show. So we ran the community poll. We asked you who wasn't getting enough hype right now that could absolutely contribute quite handily to this Chiefs offense in 2026. And boy, oh boy, did Tyquan Thornton win. And it wasn't even close. And honestly, that result didn't surprise me at all because Chiefs Kingdom watches this team pretty closely. Closely enough to know that what they saw last year wasn't a fluke. And what they saw was a guy who stepped into a wide receiver one role when he had to, when there were zero other options, and he delivered. Now let me give you the real Thornton profile here. A 4.28 in the 40-yard dash, one of the fastest wide receivers in the entire NFL. Last season, even with limited and inconsistent usage, he averaged 23.1 yards per reception, 23 yards per catch. 3 touchdowns in the first 5 games when he was Mahomes' primary option. And the connection was actually real. Mahomes trusted him. He targeted him. And the results showed it. Then Rice came back from suspension. Worthy seemed to start playing through the injury more noticeably without limitations. And well, Thornton got buried in the depth chart. 6 catches for 166 yards from week 6 going forward. The opportunity completely dried up. And yet, every time he got the ball, the results seemed to still be elite. But now the Chiefs have re-signed him to a 2-year deal worth up to $14 million. And here's what that contract tells you that the national media keeps glossing over. The Chiefs are betting on Tyquan Thornton to be a central piece of this offense this year. Not a special teams weapon, not a gadget guy. He's a genuine weapon for Patrick Mahomes in a new offensive system, hopefully with Eric Bieniemy at the helm. And with Rice's timeline still carrying uncertainty, with Worthy in a non-contact jersey right now, and with Jalen Royals and the young guys still proving themselves, Thornton is walking into training camp here in a few weeks as the most experienced, most trusted receiver on this depth chart minus Rice. That's a completely different situation than what he walked into last year. Bleacher Report called this core questionable, but they didn't even account for what happens when a 4.28 speed receiver gets a full offseason as the focal point of a scheme instead of an afterthought to it. And here's the thing about Thornton that I want Chiefs Kingdom to really hold on to here. I'm excited to see the Kansas City Chiefs kick off the 2026 season. And just like you, I'm always looking for the best deal on tickets. Well, look no further. We've partnered with our sponsor today, SeatGeek, to bring you 10% off your next ticket purchase. SeatGeek has over 70,000 events listed from NHL, MLB, and yes, even the NFL. I used SeatGeek one time to get tickets to go watch the Chiefs absolutely demolish the Jets, and it was a great experience. And because I'm a little bit superstitious, I'm always going to remember that, and I'm always going to want to use SeatGeek to go watch the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. And of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHIEFEDUP for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code CHIEFEDUP. So make sure you click the link in the description to go download the app and have the code automatically applied to your account so you can use it later. Now back to the show. His best football probably hasn't even happened yet. He's only 25 years old. He's playing in his first real offensive system built around utilizing his skill set at the moment. He has a new offensive coordinator who has historically helped develop wide receivers, and Chad O'Shea, a new coach. And he just got paid in a way that signals organizational belief. Bleacher Report sees questionable. Chiefs Kingdom sees something different. At least I do. And your poll kind of backs that up for me. So remember how I opened this video. Rashee Rice running out of that jail, making cuts, avoiding cameras, showing that the elusiveness may still be there. Well, here's the full picture of why today actually matters for this offense. If Rice does come back healthy and in shape and he can stay on the field, this wide receiver room goes from questionable to genuinely not too bad. Thornton as the speed threat, Rice as the contested catch yak weapon, Worthy as that deep burner when he's fully healthy, Royals flashing everything he showed at OTAs just days ago. That's a pretty decent group, and we haven't even touched on rookie Cyrus Allen or UDFAs like Jeff Caldwell, who are out there fighting for spots and turning heads on a daily basis. But even if Rice's situation stays complicated, even if the uncertainty never fully goes away, the Chiefs have already built around that possibility here. Thornton didn't get that contract by accident. This organization doesn't pay a receiver $14 million just to be a backup plan. Chiefs Kingdom, what you told us in that poll was exactly right. Tyquan Thornton is the most important name in that wide receiver room heading into 2026, at least for me. And today, with Rice walking out of that jail and pointing toward training camp, the ceiling on this offense just got a whole lot higher. So look, today was a good day for the Kansas City Chiefs, no doubt. Rashee Rice is out. He's cleared. He's heading towards St. Joe. The knee's being rehabbed. The offense has its pieces assembling. Is everything perfect? Hell no. But Chiefs Kingdom didn't sign up for perfect. We signed up for interesting. And this 2026 season is shaping up to be very, very interesting. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. Let's jump right in and do an entry today. Today, we're going to take France attacker Mbappe with 4.5 shots. We're going to go more right there. Then we're going to take Argentina attacker Lionel Messi versus Algeria. 0.5 goals. We think Messi is getting on the board. I'm going more there. And then we're going to go William Saliba, France defender, 78.5 passes attempted. I'm going to go less. Let's go less on that one. Let's lock that one in. Remember, you can go ahead and sign up for Prize Picks. The link is in the description. Use code HMA, and you can follow along with us all year long on Prize Picks at All Chiefed Up. Now back to the show. So before we go, I need 2 things from you in the comments right now. Number 1, do you trust Rashee Rice to be healthy and on the field for a full season in 2026? Yes or no? Don't hedge on that. Just pick a side and let me know. And second, Tyquan Thornton, does he finish 2026 as a legitimate wide receiver 1 on this roster, or does he slide back into a rotational role the moment Rice and Worthy are fully healthy? I want to know where Chiefs Kingdom stands on that one. Drop both answers below for me. I appreciate it. If you got something out of today's breakdown, hit that like button for me. It genuinely helps more Chiefs fans find this channel, and we're trying to get to 100,000 subs. So if you're not subscribed yet, this is the spot for Chiefs content that actually goes deeper than what you're just seeing in the headlines. So I'll be back soon, so let's get training camp primed and ready to go. Go Chiefs!